Now Leyman Brüsters enters the ring to the strains of the Paul Rogers rock group Bad Company. In reality, he's very good company on a personal level. But in the ring, Lennox, he's a tough guy. And he jettisoned tough guy trainer Jesse Reed to move to the more technically oriented Buddy McGirt. What do you think of that move?
I think he has to do something that's going to be good for him. And Buddy McGirt is the kind of guy that he's not going to change you. He's going to help you with what you have and work upon that. So I think he made a good move right there because right now Buddy McGirt's been training a lot of good guys and helping them out. And you got to go with somebody that's going to do something good for you and that motivates you and helps you be successful in the ring.
I believe, Jim, that since he told us that one reason he got rid of Jesse Reed, who had a very successful two-fight run with him, 2 KOs, was that he wants to be able to talk to his children, he said, which says to us he doesn't want to get hit as much as he did in the first fight, and he is hoping that Buddy McGirt can help him be aggressive without getting hit as much.
At the end of the day, he beat Vladimir Klitschko by being able to absorb an enormous amount of punishment and keep fighting. It is the most difficult of all possible ways to win. And now this crowd of more than 20,000 will prepare to lionize Vladimir Klitschko, the Ukrainian who lives in America and is beloved in Germany because of his early professional career here. He'll be worshipped as he enters the ring, just as he was 4 years ago in Hanover when he walked into what became an execution at the hands of Corey Sanders.
Lennox, you have twice faced opponents who knocked you out. What is it like for Klitschko going against an opponent who knocked him out?
The main thing is to get revenge, you know, and realize that, you know, suffering 2 years of listening to people saying, oh, you got knocked out, to actually come back and have the opportunity to do it again, but this time to tell everybody, yo, it wasn't supposed to happen like that the first time, that I'm going to change the way it happened and show the world that, you know, I'm the true champion. I deserve to be here, and that Leyman Brüster shouldn't have beat me the first time, and he won't beat me the second time.
But through all the discipline of that mindset, Lennox, does some negativity inevitably enter in?
A little bit, depending on the circumstances, what made you lose. Like for me, you know, what made me lose was a lucky punch, so I knew that I can come back and that lucky punch wouldn't reach me again. So if he feels that, you know, he wasn't 100% in the first match, he definitely feels he's 100% in this match, so there's no excuses.
And Vladimir Klitschko, in the intervening 3 years, has backed off of the notion that there was something unusual, that he was sabotaged, that he was poisoned, or somehow done in by chicanery in that first fight. Indeed, the person who now talks about it, Larry, is Leyman Brüster. He seems to be using those allegations to boost his own motivation.
But I think Klitschko still has a suspicion that something happened that night. If he's using that as a crutch, if he's in total denial, it would backfire. But the evidence is that with 3 years with Emmanuel Stewart, that he really has tried to modify his style to be a better fighter for the big guy he is.
And in developing his current style, the fighter that Klitschko studies most on tape is Lennox Lewis. Lennox, how much is he like you? Same trainer, same general height range. Is he in some ways the same fighter?
I wouldn't say he's the same fighter. Obviously, he's a different fighter than me. You know, there's only one Lennox Lewis and there's only one Vladimir Klitschko. And he's looking to make footsteps in the heavyweight ranks and hopefully become undisputed heavyweight champion. So that's a great goal to try and attain, and he's on his way towards that right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor the challenger, the national anthem of the United States of America, performed by Francisca Urrio.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, the brave. Thank you.
And now, to honor the homeland of the defending champion, the national anthem of Ukraine, performed by Alexander Cymbalyo.
Ще не вмерла Україні ні слава, ні воля. Ще нам, браття українці, усміхнеться доля. Згинуть наші вороженьки, як роса на сонці. Заспіваєм і ми, друзі, у своїй сторонці. Душу й тіло ми покинем за нашу свободу і возрадуємся, браття, що ми козацького.
Ladies and gentlemen, Damen und Господа, meine Damen und Herren, willkommen in der Köln Arena. Welcome to the main event of the evening, the rematch, presented by K2 Promotions and broadcast by RTL and HBO, sponsored by O2 and sanctioned by the GBO. This contest is scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF IBO Heavyweight Championship of the World. IBF President Marion Mohammed, IBO President Ed Levine. At ringside, the three judges scoring this bout on the 10-point system. From South Africa, Alfred Bukwana. From Germany, Michael Fischer. From the United States, Denny Nelson. And inside the ring, also from the United States, the referee in charge of the action, Sam Williams. And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, meine Damen und Herren, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the red corner, wearing gold, official weight 103.5 kilograms, 228 pounds. His professional record, an outstanding one, consisting of 36 bouts, 33 victories, including 28 knockouts with 3 defeats. From Indianapolis, Indiana, USA, the challenger, former WBO heavyweight world champion, Relentless Leyman Brüsters. Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red, trimmed with gold. Official weight, 110.5 kilograms, 243.5 pounds. This gold medal Olympic champion now has a professional record of 51 bouts, 48 victories, including 43 knockouts with 3 defeats. Fighting out of Hamburg, Germany, by way of Kiev, Ukraine, the 2-time world champion and reigning, defending IBF, IBO heavyweight champion of the world, Dr. Steel Hammer, Vladimir Klitschko.
They got something wrong too.
Tail of the tape for Vladimir Klitschko and Leyman Brüster. Brüster now 34 years old, gives up 5 inches in height, 1 inch only though, arm length measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. Leyman Brüster at 228, only 2 pounds north of where he fought Klitschko 3 years ago, and perhaps the best shape he has been in since that time. Klitschko, as always, superbly conditioned, 6'6", 243.5. Rules of the bout, whether unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
Unified rules, no 3 knockdown rule, only the referee can start the fight. Go to the scorecards on the cut after 4 rounds, and you cannot be saved by the bell at any round, including the 12th and final round. Jim.
Referee Sam Williams of Detroit.
All right, let's have a good one. We went over the rules in the locker room. I'm going to give you a few reminders. I want you to watch your headbutts, your low blows, your kidney punches. On my command to break, take a full step back, hands up, protect yourself at all times. In case of a knockdown, I send you to the furthest neutral corner. Remain there until I send for you. Good luck, man.
Leyman Brüster fought the first fight like a condemned man who wound up executing the executioner. At 34, can he fight that kind of willful fight again if he has to?
Vladimir Klitschko stood all the way in the center of the ring, waiting for the opening bell. He told us yesterday he expects Leyman Brüster to rush him in the first minute of the fight, much the way Brüster rushed Andrew Galata and knocked him out in 53 seconds. Brüster bulls Klitschko back against the ropes.
I thought it was a little bit strange, Lennox, that he came right out after Brüster trying to make a statement.
No, what he did was just went to the center of the ring and say, okay, this is my spot. I'm not giving up this spot. I'm in control of this spot, so I'm in control of the center of the ring.
So both men have made psychological statements, as Brüster did make something of a rush and wound up more or less attempting to tackle Klitschko, and Vladimir established a spatial imperative by standing at the center of the ring and is firing jabs, and he just threw a right hand over the top. Remember, in his last title defense, 2 rounds against Ray Austin of Cleveland, he never unleashed the right hand, knocking out Austin with a series of left hooks. Klitschko's long jab, utterly dominant in the first 3 rounds of their first fight. He looks a tiny bit more cautious tonight. But of course, the style since then, Lennox, has been partially one of conserving energy.
Well, he's definitely conserving energy. He's doing the right thing, which is starting everything off with a jab. Leyman Brüsters, however, he's trying to find a way in. Maybe a bit too flat-footed right now, but he's not getting hit. But later on, it may show.
Sam Williams uses the word holding. Brewster's corner, no doubt, has said to Williams before the fight, Klitschko holds us. We don't want Vladimir to be able to hold here.
If I notice anything different that Brewster's attempting, it's to jab his way to the inside.
Brewster's using that side-to-head motion, which is very good defensive motion, but the only thing is he's standing still in that one spot because Vladimir can time him like a clock, you know, when he moves to one side to the other side, time him like a clock, and then all of a sudden that right hand comes, or that left hook right hand.
Klitschko turned his head to slip a Brewster right hand, now lands a 1-2 over the top. Goes back to throwing his jab and stuns Brewster momentarily with a solid right hand.
Good right hand. Well, Vladimir elects to hold after, which he doesn't need to do at this point, and I hope he doesn't get into that holding early because I'm sure the referee's looking out for that.
Right. Stop holding it, champ.
Sam Williams says stop holding, champ, calling Klitschko champ, and Klitschko goes back to pumping the left jab. Now hooking off the jab, something he does better than any other heavyweight at this moment.
A very good punch to throw. What it does is it gives the opponent something else to look at than the jab. They see a left hook coming across, and, you know, it keeps them busy mentally.
First hand, but he was doing it, and keep working on the hook. Keep working on the hook, and then you set him up for the right hand. Either the little, when he starts jabbing, straight back and straight right hand, okay? Don't try to shoot it all the time, 1-2. Try to get him to jab it straight, same as you're
Don't stand in one spot. Like your feet are stuck in one place. You got to keep pushing them back. All right, don't stand there. Okay, let's go, baby. Keep that head moving like you're doing, but keep the left hand up a little more.
Yeah, this is Klitschko, you know, just measuring, throwing out that jab, and as you can see, Brewster's just flat-footed, trying to figure out a way in. Connecting with that jab right now. And obviously after the jab comes that right hand.
Heavyweight average for throwing jabs is about 19 per round. Klitschko in the first round, by CompuBox count, landed 21 of 46 jabs. Brewster also, as Larry Merchant pointed out, trying to use his own jab, through 31, landed 7. You heard Buddy McGirt saying to Brewster, you've got to keep going forward, keep pushing him back. The feeling in Brewster's corner is that Klitschko can't fight going backward. Emmanuel Stewart, following up on what Lennox and I were talking about, asked Klitschko to continue hooking off the left jab, saying that would set up the right hand.
See, at this point, Brewster's just worried about the jab right now, and that's all he has to worry about. But when Klitschko throws that left hook in there, it gives him something else to worry about. And obviously, the right hand follows, which makes it a great combination.
Klitschko able to control Leyman Brüster at this range with his longer, more accurate left jab. And so far, it's a jabbing contest in round 2, predictably won by Klitschko.
You know, Brewster at this point shouldn't allow him to do that much jab without doing some jabbing of his own. Because when Vladimir starts landing with that jab, that right hand's going to come across, and that's his honey punch.
Lennox Lewis, of course, fought 6 rounds with older brother Vitaly Klitschko in Los Angeles, and fought about, 20 seconds with Vladimir in Ocean's 11. Brewster missing with both the right and the left. He has not been able to get close enough to Klitschko to do damage in round 2.
Well, how he's going to get close to Klitschko is definitely throwing his left jab, starting everything with the jab, but he's got to move those feet. He's got to move those feet a lot quicker.
Klitschko now backing Brewster into a corner after a left hook, right cross combination.
What I notice most about Klitschko is that he's a little bit more measured than he was in the first rounds of the earlier fight.
What I notice is greater offensive variety. He's thrown a right-hand lead, maybe a couple of them. Hasn't yet unveiled the uppercut. The jabbing, hooking off the jab, occasionally leading with the right hand. He's becoming a more well-rounded fighter, Lennox, offensively.
Yes, he is, and he's using that distance. He's keeping enough distance between him and Brewster so he can land his jab, but Brewster can't land his jab, which is great measuring on his part.
It's been a masterful boxing exhibition in round two. Vladimir Klitschko thoroughly controlling the space between himself and an offensively impotent Leyman Brewster.
Stop. Good fight. Real good fight. Let's get back to the jab. The jab is breaking him in two. And sooner or later, you're going to land the right hand. Once he keeps getting dizzy from the jab, the right hand will automatically find his way. The best if you would catch him when he starts trying to come to you and then throw the right. I keep telling you.
Stay low and to the right, Leyman. Okay, what you're doing is he's touching with jabs and putting your hand there. You're getting right in the firing line on the right hand. No good, baby.
Right.
Stay over here. Come on, Leyman. What we worked on. Now, let's not let her go out the window. Okay?
Hey, catch and go.
Hey, look at me. Let's not let her go out the window, baby.
Okay.
Let's stop working the body. Don't worry about his head. But don't
After Klitschko's first two losses, his brother Vitaly had his back and beat the guys who beat him, Purity and Sanders. This is the first time that Klitschko has his own back trying to beat a fighter who beat him.
A lot of people expected Vladimir to very consciously slow the pace tonight to avoid the exhaustion that befell him in the first fight. But by CompuBox numbers, in round two, Vladimir Klitschko threw and landed more punches than in any round previously counted by CompuBox. He landed 35 punches in the second round. 28 of them were jabs. Brewster, 12 of 43, but his offense is muffled mostly by the Klitschko action.
Well, you heard Brewster say, if it's a boxing contest, he wins. If it's a fight, I win. So far, he's been unable to make it a fight.
Vladimir winding up, looking to land that right hand, just looking for that opening. But before that, he's peppering Brewster with that left jab. Still, Brewster's so flat-footed, he needs to move a lot quicker on his feet to get into distance and get into punching distance so he can hit Vladimir.
Brewster is going to the body per the instructions of his corner, but it's not very often and not very effective.
Vladimir threw another right-hand lead seconds ago. He'll never be the world's most relaxed fighter, Lennox, but I honestly believe this is the most relaxed I've seen him in the ring in a competitive fight.
He looks relaxed to me. He looks like he's trying to set Brewster up for that right hand, but first, he's trying to pepper him up with that jab.
The determination of Leyman Brewster, always evident, always apparent. There's another right-hand lead by Vladimir Klitschko. And you heard Emanuel Stewart between rounds saying, time him so that you land that right hand when he's coming in. Bottom line is, as Buddy McGirt pointed out, Brewster isn't coming in as much as he promised he would.
Right, and therefore there are fewer clinches already than in the first fight, and then there was an average of about 6 clinches per round.
At that time, Vladimir doubled up on the right-hand lead, and this time lands a 1-2, and now hooks off the jab again. And Leyman Brewster is getting the full Klitschko arsenal as round 3 continues.
Brewster is definitely coming away from something that worked for him in the first fight, and that's pressure. He's not giving Vladimir enough pressure to really give him anything to worry about.
Brewster has landed one left hook in this round, otherwise nothing meaningful. Klitschko has continued to pepper him with jabs. And now Vladimir backs straight away from a leaping left hook. And Brewster looks tired as he goes to his corner between 3 and 4.
Okay, listen, you can't stand in front of this guy and get hit with them shots.
Saturday, July 14, a welterweight triple header. Champion Antonio Margarito faces Paul Williams in Los Angeles. While in Atlantic City, Artur Gatti takes on Alfonso Gomez of Contender fame, and Kermit Cintron defends his belt against Valter Matisse. Immediately following, live coverage of boxing. Stay tuned for the premiere of Countdown to Hopkins Right. Our behind-the-scenes look at both fighters as they prepare for their July 21 battle live on pay-per-view.
Just when he starts going forward, he's all out of position. Just let the straight right hand go, you'll catch him. You're fighting a good fight, though. Your left jab is working.
Now, this is Klitschko setting Brewster up for that right hand, and, you know, what came before that was a whole heap of jabs.
Okay, I'm not going to let you get hit too much more, you understand me? Okay, let's go now.
CompuBox numbers in round 3. Vladimir Klitschko, 32 out of 72 total punches. 24 of those connects were jabs. Brewster landing only 3 of 9 power shots, having trouble getting past the long jab. Harold Letterman, how do you score it through 3?
Okay, Jim, 30-27, 3 rounds to nothing, Vladimir Klitschko. Jim, I mean, this is clean punching. I mean, you got to give him credit for the 3 rounds for clean, effective punching. But, Jim, Lennox Lewis, the former heavyweight champion, talks about keeping that perfect distance. He's absolutely correct. That's what the judges call ring generalship. You keep the guy exactly where you want to keep him in the ring. And one last thing, what is Buddy McGirt yelling catch and go? Does anybody know what that means?
Sounds like a football term.
Catch and go might mean if you get hit, that's the time you're supposed to go.
No, he actually means catch the punches with your gloves, slide off of it, and try and catch your opponent back before he gets out of range.
Vladimir Klitschko, by his own account, was too cautious with the right hand in his 7th-round knockout of Calvin Brock last November in New York. He did not even throw a right hand in his title defense earlier this year against Ray Austin here in Germany. Tonight, he's throwing right-hand leads in abundance. And this makes him a more dangerous fighter than ever before. Because at the moment, with Lennox Lewis retired, Vladimir probably has the best right hand in the division.
Well, we're gonna probably see it right now because he's winding up to throw it. He's in punching distance of Leyman Brewster, and you know Leyman definitely should keep that left hand up because he needs that left hand to protect against Klitschko's right hand.
Thinks that he can win this fight with 1 punch, or at least change it. And that's what he's looking for. Or he's conceding because he is not putting the pressure on Klitschko that he did in the first fight.
He also looks a bit winded.
Looks more than a bit winded. And fascinatingly, given Brewster's background as a tough guy and a resilient fighter who can weather the storm, Buddy McGirt said to him after 3 rounds, "I'm not going to let you just stand there and take punishment. You've got to start doing something."
Which he's supposed to, and what he's supposed to be doing is giving Klitschko a lot more pressure, pushing him up against the ropes.
Now he lands a left hook.
Not waiting for Klitschko to start everything. He needs to start something. This is what he wants. He has to go for it.
But he's being beaten to the punch over and over and over by a longer, taller, sharper puncher.
But let's remember, Klitschko won 14 of the first 15 minutes of the last fight and lost the fight.
Well, he's just won 12 of the first 12 here. Repeating defeat.
Fighting a good fight. He hasn't even hit you with a punch yet. Okay. Jab is working beautiful. Pretty soon you're going to about knock him out with a jab if you don't stop. So what round is this coming up here? Is it the 6th round? Well, I said he would be over 7 originally at the prediction. It looked like he's going to. This is about 6 jab. He's about finished with just a jab alone. Pretty soon.
You got to push it.
Right now,
trying to set you up for the right hand right. Coming in. You see it too. That's why I'm glad you ain't trying to.
You're too busy looking for the one punch. Don't worry about the one punch, okay? Pressure. Keep that pressure on him. Don't go backwards, Leyman. You got to stay low. Don't slip this one. You got to stay here. You're catching this.
You heard Bertie McGirt confirm what we thought earlier. You're looking for one punch, he's telling Brewster.
Keep working the jab. Keep pumping it, driving it, driving it.
Copy box numbers through the first 4 rounds. Vladimir Klitschko, 100 jabs landed in 4 rounds out of 226 thrown. That means he's throwing 56 jabs per round. An extraordinary output. Brewster landing 21 of 44 power shots. Not enough to create the pressure he wanted to turn the fight in his direction.
Brewster's one of these guys, when it's tough in there, he's one of these guys, when it's tough, the tough get going.
There's the uppercut for the first time. Vladimir Klitschko, who idolizes now the Lennox Lewis uppercut, emulating it there for the first time in the fight. And he drove Brewster into the ropes with the right hand. Now Leyman Brewster seems to feel more urgency than before about going forward and creating pressure. Klitschko just missing with a right hand that was designed to finish the fight. Brewster has a great chin. He's been knocked down only once in his professional career. That was by Klitschko in the 4th round in Las Vegas. Crowd chanting, Klitschko, Klitschko.
This is a measured, stalking style by Klitschko. We don't see any sign of panic, of urgency. He's just fighting his fight and daring Brewster to make him not be able to fight his fight.
And that's what Brewster's doing right now, allowing Klitschko to fight his fight. The good thing that he's not getting hit with any heavy right-hand shots by Klitschko at the moment, but the fact that he's throwing so many jabs, the right hand's going to find its mark pretty soon.
The first of those 2 right hands was heavier than Brewster might like it to be. But Klitschko hasn't yet landed that home run shot of the kind that flipped Calvin Brock onto his face in Madison Square Garden. Capable of scoring a knockout with the left hook as well, although again, Brewster has a great chin and just may be able to keep taking the punishment.
See, Brewster looks like he's prepared to take that right hand. He's rolling off it very well. This is when Klitschko should be coming back with that left hook after that right hand.
You hear me? Now answer one question for me. You got to be honest. Are you feeling it? Yes or no?
Yes, I'm feeling it. Here, spit this.
Huh?
I'm feeling it.
Are you feeling like you can go on?
Spit this. Spit this.
Huh? I'm gonna give you one more round, Leyman. I'm not gonna see you take them shots. You hear me?
Spit this. Hey.
Give me one more round to show me you can do what we worked on. If not, baby, I'm gonna stop it. You hear me? Okay?
One more than please.
Дерни его левой прямой. Ударили левой сбоку. И не кидайся. Попадаешь, не кидайся. Ноги под собой.
Now let's start to drive with the jab now, okay? Try to start pushing a little harder with the jab. We hit him like this. Try to see if you can drive. Just a little bit more force to just drive him off balance with the jab. It's a little bit more. Change it up.
Lennox, do you believe McGirt would stop the fight if we had another round like the ones we've had?
I think he's saying that to motivate him motivate Brewster to show Brewster, listen, he's going to stop the fight. Most boxers don't like hearing that, so they change their approach about the next round, and I'm sure you're going to see Leyman Brewster changing his approach about this round.
Or is he saying that as a clear indication that part of his mandate, his self-accepted mandate, is to try to protect Leyman Brewster's surgically prepared left eye and not allow that left eye to be further damaged?
Well, every time you get hit, there's always that risk of getting injured, and you want to not get hit in there. And if you're getting hit, then you might get hurt. And I think...
Well, I don't see any sign that Brewster has favored his eye or having any problem with it as yet.
I'm not sure that we would see any sign, Larry. How would we know? I mean, he's getting hit. He gets hit anyway, regardless of whether his eye is bothering him. He's never been a difficult target for opponents. He wins with his will.
Well, he did say that when he fought Ryakovich, that he had a problem with his depth perception. But, of course, you didn't know watching the fight that he had injured his eye in that way.
Incidentally, through fewer than 5 rounds, Klitschko landed more jabs than have ever been landed against Leyman Brewster in any fight of any distance, even 12 rounds.
I haven't seen a left hook from Leyman Brewster yet, and I know that's his honey punch, but he hasn't attempted or thrown a big one yet.
And when his eye was damaged against Ryakovich, he said that the big outcome of that was that he couldn't land his left hook at all. There he tried one and just missed. Klitschko again popping Brewster repeatedly with the jab. And now there's a lot of yelling from Leyman Brewster's corner as they try to motivate their man.
Brewster seemed to go down. Brewster seemed to go down from fatigue at that point.
Well, to be fair, Klitschko was leaning on his back, and it's always better to go down than to try and lift up 245 pounds.
Vladimir landed a very sharp right cross and then wrapped Brewster up inside. Now he goes back to peppering Brewster with the jab. It's been a very easy first 6 rounds so far for Vladimir Klitschko. And there's swelling outside Brewster's left eye now. And he gets hit with another right hand.
That one was blocked. I think it was the sheer power that really knocked him back.
We can't tell yet whether Vladimir has added any steels to the alleged glass in his jaw, but we certainly can tell that he is a better defensive fighter.
Okay? I'm gonna pull the plug, Leyman. Okay? Talk to me, baby.
Come on, buddy.
I'm gonna pull the plug. I'm gonna pull the plug, baby. I know you're trying. It's not there.
Okay.
You hear me? You hear me?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you keep hitting with them shots. All right? Okay? That's it, baby. That's it.
He's calling the fight.
Throw in the towel right now.
Referee.
Buddy McGirt. Buddy McGirt stops the fight.
That's it, gang.
An anticlimactic knockout, if ever there was one. A merciful exit for Leyman Brewster, provided by his trainer, Buddy McGirt.
Well, you know, I think Buddy made a good decision right there. Most boxers don't like to be counted out on their feet like that. But he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't getting through. He didn't even hit Klitschko as much as he was supposed to hit him. And it was a difficult decision for Buddy McGirt, but I think he made the right decision.
Well, and the fighter nodded, yes, it's okay.
I have to believe the detached retina was a factor in that decision.
Well, we'll ask after the
We're
fight.
going to find out. Through 6 rounds, Vladimir Klitschko landed 162 jabs. Leyman Brewster found no way to get away from Klitschko's jab, which was landing about half the time or perhaps even more. Brewster landed a total of 70 punches, none of them damaging, and that's the end of that. A 6th round technical knockout for Vladimir Klitschko, his 7th win in a row. And he avenges his previous loss to Brewster in somewhat anticlimactic fashion, Lennox. Very much the way you avenged your loss to Oliver McCall. against an under-equipped fighter who simply couldn't fight you that night.
And you know, I'm sure Klitschko doesn't like that type of win. I'm sure he wanted to knock out Brüster, and he didn't get that chance. So, you know, although he won the fight, it's still a win, but I'm sure he's not happy about it.
Is that the way you felt the night that McCall broke down in the ring against you when you were trying to get revenge against him?
Yes, I did. You know, I wanted to knock him out, but, you know, the fact that he was crying in the ring, I realized that he was going through some mental difficulty, and the referee decided a good choice to stop the fight, and this is a situation where a trainer decided to stop a fight, and he made a good choice.
And this is a trainer who has worked ever since February with Leyman Brüster and knew what it was that he wanted in the fight and was candid in saying with the fighter, you're just not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, he's spent hours in the gym working with him, watching him spar, and all of a sudden to get to a fight and to see his boxer, Leyman Brüster, not doing what he's done in the gym, actually that looks slow and looks flat-footed, me as a trainer wouldn't be happy. So Buddy McGurk wasn't happy about that and felt that it was necessary to stop the fight so his boxer wouldn't get any more damage or even risk injuring
Buddy has done it
that
before.
eye.
Buddy's done it before, incidentally, Lennox. He pulled the plug for Arturo Gatti against Floyd Mayweather when it was abundantly clear that Gatti had no chance to match up against Mayweather. He's done it with other fighters as well. A veteran trainer like Buddy McGurk, who was a fighter himself, understands the potential implications of just taking unobstructed punch after unobstructed punch.
Right, and there needs to be a lot of trainers like that look after their boxer, look after their man that they work in the gym at many hours and long weeks and days with.
Let's take a look at a package of Vladimir Klitschko jabs throughout the fight. Klitschko averaging 72 punches thrown per round. You know, once again, he unloaded a lot of his arsenal against Leyman Brüster because, frankly, he finds Brüster an easy target.
Yeah, Leyman wasn't able to get past that jab, the prime weapon of Klitschko. And you could see how powerful, how quick it is. He just wasn't able to do anything, mount any type of offense to answer that jab. And, you know, this is a fight that Manny loves because he loves you to win a fight on your jab, and if you don't have to use anything else and win a fight on the jab, it's great.
Lennox, when the great George Foreman sat where you sit, one of his best lines, oft repeated, was, this sport is easy if you have a jab. Let's go to Larry Merchant now with the loser, Leyman Brüster.
Thank you, Jim. Leyman, tell us first, did your eye give you any problems at any time in this fight?
First, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. No, it didn't give me problems. You know, he was just a better man tonight. He had an awesome jab, and I tried to get past it, you know, and I couldn't. So, you know, through the accumulation of punches, I knew at some point I couldn't keep getting hit like that. You know, I have a wife and I have 4 kids, and I want to be in my right mind to be able to speak to them down the road.
All right, well, that brings to the question of something you told us yesterday, that you changed trainers from Jesse Reed, where you had 2 knockouts with him, because you felt you have a family and you didn't want to fight that kind of fight that's necessary for you to be successful, that aggressive, relentless fight. Were you unable to do that tonight because you just feel it's no longer for you?
Well, you know, that's something that I have to sit down with my wife and my buddy and just, you know, just think about, pray on it, you know, turn to my pastor, Bishop Noel, and, you know, just think about what would be best for my future.
How was he different tonight than he was in the first fight?
Well, he was able to maintain his jab, whereas the last time I knew his jab would be busy, but you know, I was able to get past it. But today he was just a better man. His jab was better. So, you know,
is it fair to say that you weren't the relentless, willful tiger that you were in the first fight, willing to take so much punishment to get to your goal?
No, I felt I was the same relentless Leyman Brüster, but, you know, sometimes somebody has a better night, and, you know, unlike crying wolf and saying poison, you just admit when somebody's better that night. He was better tonight, and if I come back, I'll be better next night, you know, so that's just what it is, and all praise to God, because he allowed me to make a living for my family and to maintain my health. I got people who care about me, Buddy was saying in the round, he said, well, you know, I might stop the fight because you keep getting hit. And I thought I was going to be able to slip it, but I wasn't able to counter it as effective as I wanted to. And it started building to frustration, which made me start getting hit more and more. So when he made the decision, I thought to myself, hey, man, don't be a fool. You know, live to fight another day, so I will.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Buddy, it's a hard thing for a trainer to do when a man has a goal and a dream. Talk to us about making the decision you made.
Well, my thing is this. He wasn't getting off, and the guy was getting stronger. My guy wasn't getting stronger. So, I mean, he was getting hit more and more each round, and he just kept building up the momentum. So why take a chance on his health and let him, you know, on him getting hurt? And I told him, I'm going to give you one more round.
Would he have been better off after he had a 15-month layoff, taking a fight before this fight?
You know, that's a hard question. You know, we discussed it. So, you know, I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I mean, he got the opportunity to fight for the championship again. He took it. And like he said, Vladimir was the better man tonight.
Thank you very much, buddy. Jim?
All right, thank you very much, Larry. Vladimir Klitschko, Lennox, at age 31, has his 49th victory against 3 losses. His record is about identical to what yours was at age 39. How many more years do you think Vladimir has left to put his imprint on the heavyweight division?
I think he has a couple more years left. He said he wants to be undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and you know, this is the goal he wants to attain, and until he attains that goal, there's no stopping him.
Let's go back to the ring and see what Vladimir has to say to Larry.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Vladimir. Why were you able to make it look so convincing and so convincingly easy tonight?
Because I can't lose tonight. Since 3 years, this fight was my trademark, let's say this way. I mean, three years ago fight. And my sports image was really badly scratched after this fight. I went on the bottom of the boxing. And I got the guy where people are saying I'm a dead man walking, I'm a guy without chin, without something else as well. And especially today, my coach Emmanuel Stewart has a birthday. Could you imagine how much it means to him? 20,000 people in a sold-out arena were thinking happy birthday, Emmanuel Stewart. I think this is a great gift for him.
How are you a different fighter today than you were 3 years ago after having seen it in the ring against the same man?
I think that, Leymon, it was tough. It was tough for you.
Fight, baby. It was your night.
Thank you very much.
Man. You deserve
Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Thank you, buddy.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank
you. Excuse me. I lost the question. Would you like to ask again?
Based on this fight versus the first fight, tell us how you think you have improved as a fighter.
I believe that you can make better judgment, or audience can make better judgment than myself. But from my point of view, I can say that I feel like a fish in the water. I feel very confident. I feel that I can be very consistent in my performance, and especially I love what I do. When I go in the ring, I'm happy about that. I'm not struggling, I'm not surviving, I don't need to do it. I do it because I love it and I want it.
Then that leads to this issue. Leymon Brüsters and others believe that American heavyweights who have come from poverty are tougher, harder men. And it's hard for them to believe that someone like yourself, who doesn't have to fight because you're educated, because you've made a lot of money, can't be as hard and tough as them. How do you answer that?
I believe this is not about nationality. We have great fighters all over the world. And this is their own and personal quality, how they perform. And I think nationality, it's not such a big matter. Look at this, how many great athletes around the world and people in the United States really admire them. And they go to watch their fights or their games.
Who would you like to fight next?
Who would you like to fight me is next?
That's saying that you would like to get a unification fight if you could. Is that correct?
I will give everything what's possible. I will not give it up. I was trying to accomplish it in the past year, and So hopefully next fight will be something like that.
Does this make you feel more like a champion, or do you still feel you have to unify titles before you can be considered by yourself to be the champion?
I'm not there where I want to be. That's it. And I'm going to accomplish it. I'm 31. And I think I have a couple of more successful years in my life. But you make judgment. You're an experienced guy, and I would love to get judgment from yourself.
I'll see if I can come up with something. Thank you, Vladimir. Jim?
All right, we continue to talk about possible title unification, and it isn't happening. Fights aren't taking place between belt holders, although Ruslan Shagayev and Timur Ibragimov have signed to fight each other in what becomes a mini unification fight. But Lennox, the best thing that happens for the division, it seems to me, is that one fighter emerges above all the belt morass. And you don't have to worry about which governing body recognizes who, because the public recognizes one guy. Is he closing in on that?
He's closing in on that, and it's very important to unify all the belts, and this is what he wants to do. He's not where he's at. And he asked the question, who do we want him to fight? We want him to fight the next best man and keep on fighting the next best man until he's unified the whole heavyweight belt. So we want to wait till he's undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Like he said, he's not where he wants to be. Until he gets there, that's when he's going to be satisfied.
When you beat